Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to pull back the curtain on all those AI tools we're starting to use every day. We're going to look at the hidden engine that makes them all work. So let's just dive right in.
You probably ask an AI to whip up a clever email for you, or maybe create some kind of crazy image. And when it works, it feels like actual magic, doesn't it? But have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on behind the scenes? What's the machine that's actually making it all happen? Well, the answer is this thing called the AI stack. And it's not some single magical box. It's really a system of different layers, all stacked on top of each other, and each one has a very specific job to do. Once you see how they all fit together, trust me, the world of AI makes a whole lot more sense. So, what's the easiest way to get this? Let's use an analogy. We're going to build a house, together, from the ground up. Each floor of this house is going to represent a different layer of the AI stack, and you'll see how they all rely on each other to build something amazing.
All right, every good house needs a rock-solid base, right? So let's start where any builder would, on the first floor. This is the foundation.
Okay, so this layer is all about one thing: pure, raw power. This is the computing muscle of AI. Seriously, think of it like the concrete and steel beams. It has to be unbelievably strong to hold up everything else we're about to build. This is where all the really heavy lifting gets done. So what is this muscle made of? Well, we're talking about super specialized computer chips, the ones designed just for AI. We're talking about massive, powerful servers and huge cloud systems. Without this incredibly strong base, our entire AI house would literally just crumble. It all starts with the hardware. Okay, our foundation is poured and it's solid. So let's head on up to the second floor. This is where we find the actual blueprint for intelligence. So if that first floor was all about the muscle, this floor, well, this is the brain. This is where the actual AI models and frameworks live. The complicated algorithms that give an AI the ability to learn, to reason, and to make sense of all the information it's taking in. Just think of this layer as the architect's grand design. It literally defines how everything is going to work. It's the part that learns all the patterns from mountains of data. And that's what lets it do things like translate languages or, predict the very next word in your sentence. This is where the intelligence in AI is actually born. Okay, so we've got power and we have a blueprint for intelligence. But how do we manage all of that and make sure it actually runs smoothly? Well, that's the job of our third floor, the coordination system. You can't just build a super powerful AI model and then just let it run wild. It needs to be managed, it needs to be updated, and it needs to be monitored all the time to make sure it's working correctly and, really importantly, safely. This layer is basically the operational heart of the whole thing.
A really great way to think about this is like property management for our AI house. This layer is in charge of making sure the model stays accurate, keeping all the systems secure, and just making sure everything runs 24/7 without any problems. It's the crew that keeps the lights on.
And now we get to the top of our house. These are the floors where people like you and me actually come in and interact with the AI. This is where all that groundwork starts to feel like magic.
And up here at the top, we actually have two different but very connected floors. First, there's the application layer. That's all about what the AI does, the tools we can see. And then there's the experience layer, which is all about how the AI feels, that human touch. It's kind of like the difference between the furniture in a room and the overall atmosphere that makes it feel like home.
So the application layer is the stuff you see and use every single day. Things like AI writing assistants, those cool image generators, chatbots. These are the finished rooms in our house. They are the real tools built on top of all those other layers that make all that power and intelligence useful for us.
And finally, we get to the very top, the experience layer. This is all about that human touch, Does the chatbot actually sound natural when it talks to you? Is the interface easy and intuitive to use? This is that warmth that makes an AI feel helpful, not clunky or robotic. It's what makes the whole thing feel comfortable.
So we've built our entire house, from the foundation all the way to the roof. Now let's just step back and take in the view from the top, because understanding AI this way is, well, it's really important. I think this quote just absolutely nails it. AI isn't some weird, mysterious black box. It's a system, a stack, that's been carefully built, and every single layer, every floor in our house, adds its own crucial piece of value to the whole thing. And this is why it really, really matters. See, we all get excited about the flashy new apps on that top floor, right? But the real innovation is happening on every floor of this stack. Think about it.
Breakthroughs in chip design down in the foundation were absolutely essential for building the huge models on the second floor, which then power the chatbots we use every day. Each layer makes the next one possible.
And that brings us to a really fascinating final question. As we look ahead, which floor of this AI house do you think has the most exciting potential? Is the next giant leap going to come from even more powerful hardware, or smarter models, or maybe a more human-like experience at the top?
I'd really love to know what you think about that. Drop your thoughts on that question in the comment section below. And hey, if you found this explainer useful, please do me a favor and hit like, share it with someone, and subscribe to the Everyday AI Podcast YouTube channel. Oh, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you know when our next video drops. Thanks so much for watching.